I am Eon, and it is time to look ahead at May 2025 for the releases of Sci-Fi in the world of 3D printing creators, Patreons, tribes, etc., etc., etc. Let's jump into it. First up, we're going to look at Anvil Digital Forge. Anvil Digital Forge is doing Post-Apocalypse 3, Mercenaries, and Samurai Loyalty Packs. These multicolored images, now I didn't include all of them as multicolored, are multi-shell. Thanks to the viewer for pointing that out to me. But what that means is, say you don't want that little pipe there or those red straps. You can take those away and it won't be like they're missing from the miniature. Everything else works as well. And most of their miniatures do this. So they put a lot of work into sculpting all of these parts that fit together and overlap so you can customize them. There are the Samurai Loyalty rewards that you can get as well. This shows how some of the miniatures can be put together. Pretty cool. There's a lot of detail in these, but maybe you don't want those extra armor plates on the shins. You can take those off and the miniature will still look perfectly fine without them. Tusk Games has given us a preview of apparently some inspired properties for the releases. And I believe they said they were going to be adding some orcs into the mix as well, instead of just goblins. BattleYak Miniatures has given us a small preview here. BattleYak Miniatures kind of goes between fantasy and sci-fi. Obviously, we're going to sci-fi this month with the Sentinels of Primus, Wolves of Winter. So if you're looking for some, heavily armored futuristic warriors with some furs and things like that as well, this is a good month to get into BattleYak. Beyond Space has given us a small preview, which is the Exalted Chaplain that will be coming out in May. Claudio Casini Art has given us a look at the female sci-fi escort netrunner. Skullforge Studios has for Grim Realms and Titan City Stories. For the Grim Realms, or their Wargaming release, if you would, we have the Legion of Decay. Here's Pathogenus on the right. Grave Shrouds. They come either with masks or not. Different weapon options as well. These are Blight Shamblers. And there's a close-up look of Pathogenus. For the Titan City Stories release, we have Crucible. Pyramid heads seem to be pretty popular these days. Here's a Communicant. And a different variety of Communicant. War Messenger. There's a lot going on in the back as well. Books and bundles and bags. Some warrior nuns. And the war pilgrims. A couple of civilians and some terrain. Did not notice any Grid Runner terrain released just yet. I'm not sure if they're skipping this month or how that's working. Dakka Dakka has put out the list of models for the month of May. Looks like we're getting 5 different factions. Here's the Ghost God, of the Night Star. 2nd Death Division Cavalry Squad. Doomsday Lab Killers. The Phaeton Guard Special Forces. Ignisarius Clan Destroyers. CHC Elite Bodyguard and Heroic Rebel. The Infantry Fighting Vehicle CMR-31. And for the loyalty bonus, Master of the Wisdom Spirits. Edge Miniatures has given us this preview for the month of May. 8mm on the left and 32 or standard 28mm, standard size on the right. The Maker's Cult has put out a little bit of a preview. I hope I'm getting these right. Marchen Atelier has given us a nice preview of May. I did not realize so much had actually come out. Here we see Farhas Four Blades. Notice this is a different faction than the month of April. A Dune Knight. And the vehicle release is the Miter Fasa Tubal Khanate Assault Type Rust Bunker. Mr. Modulork has given us a small preview for the month of May as well. One Page Rules is going to be continuing with Orcs in the month of May. Of course, they just started this in April, so we still have a ways to go. Some people love their look, some people dislike their look. But the option is there, however you may feel about it. Papsikels has given us a preview. Here we have a Davis 1 synthetic corporate security drone, a human colonial marine, Colonel Eula Hendricks. She comes in a few different sculpts. Or maybe those are clones? Nah, don't think so. Just different poses for different reasons. Here we have a space crew. He's a smoker. And a space crew mechanic. She comes in a couple of different poses. Colonial Marine Ajax power suit. He comes in a few different sculpts. We're not going to look at all of them here. Same with the, well, that's just that's a typo on not my part. On the bottom, obviously like a Predator alien model sort. Here we have a dead insectoid alien. So the basic frontline warriors meet their end after that Zergling rush. Here's the basic frontline warriors, not so dead. Pregnant necromorphs and necromorph guardians. Papsikels also has a second tier, the Cyberpunk tier. These are the Cyberpunk releases, or some of them. Cyber Omninet Diver, a Legendary Hitman, Secret Service Agent, Mechanically Augmented Soldier, Artificial Intelligence Network Newsreader, comes in a couple of different sculpts. I believe she had a sculpt in a previous month, but I may be wrong. And more of the Secret Service Agent. She comes in several sculpts. Sir Nicholas Miniatures has given us this preview for the month of May. Again, I'm not sure if this is a fantasy release or a sci-fi release. It could probably fit either way, so I will include it here too. Skullforge Studios is, I believe, these are for the month of May, if I am reading properly, Arsenal. The Vengeance, which is an experimental prototype ship, along with the Director and some test pilots. Skullforge Studios has given us a small preview. This is confidential, so maybe I'm not supposed to share it. Wargames Atlantic has given us a preview, more fantasy, so we don't have very much sci-fi to look at here. Pretty sure the guy with the pistol riding a dinosaur with armor, that's probably some sort of Deathfield's release. Again, we'll look more at Wargames in the month of May once the release is actually here. Well, that is our preview. Very brief for the month of May for Sci-Fi, but most Sci-Fi creators release in the month, not before the month. So we'll come back and look at those more once May gets here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.